Hey everyone, welcome to another 2-in-1 tutorial. In this video, one of the looks contains color, but then the other contains even more. The second really incorporates green and even gold to get a really dramatic, fun look. The neat part about this is that both looks really build on top of one another. So you do part one, and then if you want to continue and add more color, you just go on to part two, and you don't have to really go back and take anything off or change anything. But I'm using this Milani Runway Eyes eyeshadow palette in Haute Couture, and so it's going to really show you a lot of possibilities. Look number one really just uses some of the pinks and purples in this look. It's a little bit softer look, definitely something that you could wear for daytime. It's also very easy to recreate, so if you want to see step by step how I did it, keep on watching. First, I applied my Smashbox Photofinish lid primer all over my eyelids, and then I'm going to take one of the NYX Jumbo eyeshadow pencils. This one's in lavender, and we're just going to lightly apply that all over our lid and kind of a little bit under the inner part of our lower lid. So you can see I'm just kind of dabbing that on here just to give us a nice light base, because I feel like this look is going to be a little bit, you know, lighter and softer, even though it is colorful, and I think that helps grab the color. Then we're going to take that right underneath, just like this. And the reason why I dab it with my finger is it takes away excess product there, and it's going to keep it from creasing on us. Next, I'm going to take my palette here in Haute Couture from Milani. It's the Runway Eyes collection. We're going to start with the shade at the very top, which is sort of a purple with pinkish undertones, and I'm going to take my e.l.f. eyeshadow brush and just really pack the product on there, and then pack it all over my eyelid. So this is going to be like, it's really purple, but I feel like of the two shades, purplish shades in this palette, this is the one with more of the pinky undertone. Then you may want to grab a little bit more of that color and kind of flip your brush over and bring it up to the crease a little bit, so when we put that other shade of purple, they're really going to blend. Next, using one of my crease brushes from Essence of Beauty, this is the larger of the two in the duo, I'm going to go down to this bluish purple right underneath the shade we just used. And so pick some of that up with that brush, and we're going to take that right into our crease. So this is, it's not so much a deeper, darker shade, it just is a different tone, and I think it works nicely in the crease here. Next, think about working that color into a little bit of a soft outer V here. So kind of work from the corner of your eye up, and we're just kind of drawing the shade out a little more. It's not going to be a big, bold outer V like we would do with a black shadow, but we're just extending the color out a little bit. Just like that. Next, take a little bit fluffier brush. I'm just using a random contour shadow brush from Revlon that I have here, and we're going to go to the pink. And this is basically going to fade up from the shade we just put on all the way up to our brow bone. It's not necessarily a typical highlight color, but it is going to really warm up this area and just give it a light kind of pink flush. So now that you've sort of tinted this whole upper area pink, we're going to go back to the bluish purple shade, the second one down, and take any sort of stiff smudger brush, or a Q-tip could work here. I'm using this one from Bourjois Paris, and I'm going to be using the tip of this brush. I'm going to be placing it right on top of that bluish purple, and then go right under the lower lash line here, mainly about 3/4 of the way in, and we're just lightly smudging that shade right under our eye. Then you want to think about how you're going to blend it on the outer part here, and for that, get a little more on the brush, and then sort of draw like a diagonal line up from the corner of your eye there. It's just going to help in blending. Just lay some of that color down right up there, kind of right to where you were doing that outer V. Just contribute a little more color to that and really get it kind of deepest right around the outer corner of your eye. To really create a border here, it might not be a bad idea to take some sort of finishing powder. I like to use my Maybelline Mineral Power Finishing Veil and just a concealer brush that I use for dry products, and kind of just take that right under the eye. I would always do this after I did liner anyway, just to prevent, you know, oils from sort of seeping down onto my face in any way, but it also kind of creates a color barrier with this look. Now we're going to take a black eye pencil. I'm using my Milani Liquif'eye metallic eyeliner pencil. I don't feel like this is necessarily a metallic shade here. I know some of the other shades they sell in this line are metallic, but to me, this turns out to be a very rich black, and it goes on so easy. I'm going to be putting it on pretty much the outer 3/4 of my upper lash line, and you barely have to touch it to your skin for that color to come on there. And what's neat is I tested it on my hand, and I just put it on and then waited a few seconds and then really rubbed on it, and you know, it stays. So that's a rare quality in a pencil or cream liner, but I'm not doing anything fancy with this at this point. I'm just drawing it out to the outer edge, and we may smudge that a little bit with a Q-tip here. But like I said, if you want to work with smudging this liner, do it quickly after you apply it, so that way it hasn't already started to really solidify on you. So just like that, that's all we're going for liner-wise, just a little bit of depth there on the upper lash line. And if you want to soften it up, go right ahead. Next, I'm going to curl my lashes and apply a coat of my Lancome Hypnose mascara, and I'll join you with the finished look. Okay, so I just applied some of that mascara to my top lashes, and then on my lips I'm using the Jordana Easy Liner in Baby Berry, so that's what's giving me the bulk of the color you're seeing there on my lips. And then I used one of my Lancome Juicy Tube Smoothies in Tickled Pink. So this is just a nice classic creamy pink gloss, but then to just perk it up a little bit right in the center, I put on my Wet n Wild Mega Slicks lip gloss in Sinless, which is a really, really light shimmery pink. I rarely would use that shade all over my lips. I like to use it just to kind of highlight pink lip looks. But now let's go ahead and get a look at the dramatic look. Now for look number 2, we are adding in a couple of new shades, so I'll show you exactly how to do that, and also how I changed up the lip color. Hey everyone, now we're going to crank this look up a couple notches and add some more colors from the Runway Eyes palette. So first thing we're going to do is go to this green shade in here, and I'm using my little mini contour brush from Coastal Scents, but you can use a Q-tip or any other small applicator or brush you want. And I'm just going to pick up some of that color on there, and then take it right under the eye, and you get this gorgeous kind of emerald green look. It's really pretty. And so I'm just kind of dragging that in and under. I'm going just about maybe halfway in with this shade. And it just really doesn't need, you know, it's a pretty effortless step there. You just kind of put it on, and it really stands out. I'm also going to just sort of go around the just outside the tear duct area and work it up a little bit, so we can kind of carry that green up just a touch there. Next, kind of clean off your brush and go to the white shade in this palette right at the bottom. Pick up a little bit of that. This is again a very shimmery shade, and I'm just going to kind of go even further in and just sort of overlap that green, and we're getting a huge amount of just a really reflective look there, and also go just underneath it. And it's going to brighten it and just lighten it up even more. Elsewhere on the lower lash line, go ahead and take a smudger brush. I'm going to go back to that Bourjois brush that I was using earlier, and I'm going to use the second purple shade there, the bluish tone purple, and just get a little more of that color going on the lower lash line. So just build up that intensity a little bit more and kind of just stop when you hit the green that you just put on. Next, we're going to switch up our liner a little bit on the lower lash line. We're going to line our waterline with that same Milani Liquif'eye pencil there. So I'm just lightly pulling down and applying that dark black. Right there, it glides on super easy, and now you can see we're given a whole nother, a whole different look with this. And then I'm just going to go under on my natural lash line, just a little bit, and actually draw it up and create a little bit of a wing there. See how I just extended out just a bit, and it's going to provide even more of a defined look to the outer part of our lid. And I gotta say, this pencil is really awesome for that. There's not a lot of pencils you feel like you can really create the winged liner look with, but this one is very, very soft and creamy, and then it'll set to where it's not gonna smudge on me. So there we go. Just kind of putting it on there like that. And then we're going to go in with a new color, I guess. We're bringing in an outside shade here because the only thing I feel like that Milani palette is lacking is a black. And so I'm using my matte carbon, a matte black shade. Any matte black color you like to use will do. But I'm going to top off what we just did there. I'm using my Coastal Scents Tack-On Liner brush. Just going to top that off with a little bit of powder there, just to ensure that it stays. Okay, just like that. And then if you want to do any more smudging there or add any more like purplish color underneath, in case you feel like you've covered it up, go right ahead. Then using my Essence of Beauty fine crease brush, I'm going to take MAC Carbon again, and we're going to apply that to our crease. And so you're going to see a real, this look is going to be amped up even more. It's amazing what just the addition of one color like this can do for the look. And I'm going to sort of surround, instead of just working off of that outer V and like nothing really comes down below it, I'm sort of surrounding this little outer liner that we've got going on here. Just surrounding it with that black, just kind of a light dusting, sort of like we're doing here, but still really getting it in the crease. The crease is where you want it to be the darkest, and then just working out a little bit. As you can see, I've just worked it out a little bit further this way, so we're going a little more of like a horizontal, really filling the space there. And then I want to sort of go over the top and blend out with some more of the purple shades. So we're still really incorporating color into this, even though we've gone dark. And so I'm taking that top color there, it's probably my favorite purple shade in this palette. Really, really pretty. Using my the larger of the two brushes that come in that crease duo from Essence of Beauty, and I'm just going over the border of where I put Carbon, and so I can see a real difference here in just it's a little bit warmer now. You're just seeing more of the color popping through. Next, using the applicator provided in this palette, we're going to take the gold and actually use this kind of right under our eyebrow. This is going to be a subtle little change here. I mean, you would expect, I think, to see like the white underneath there with this look, but since we have the access to this color, it's just going to make it look a little warmer here than just putting a splash of the white, but you could totally do white there if you want. So going with this gold and the sponge tip applicator, just picking up some of that shade. I do want it to be as intense as it can be here, so I'm literally going right under the eyebrow with that. It's giving me a pretty sparkle, sort of, just nice highlight. Next, I'm going to sort of give my lashes another coat of the Lancome Hypnose mascara, and I'm also going to do one coat on the bottom lashes, and then I'll join you with the finished look. Alright guys, here is the finished look. You can see that that extra coat of mascara on the bottom really does make a difference in this look. And I just added a little more bronzer. I contoured the cheeks just a little more. I used my Too Faced Chocolate Soleil matte bronzer, which is a little bit darker, just to add some contrast to this look. With the first look, basically I had just put on sort of a pinky toned blush and a light dusting of a lighter toned bronzer like NYC Sunny, and that's how you get that more natural finish Photofinish. With the lips, I actually blotted off the brighter pink shade we were working with the first look, and I instead went a little bit lighter so the eyes could really be kind of the focus, and I just wanted this little reflective light look on the lips. So I used the NYC lipstick in Chiffon, which is a really light shimmery pink, and then again just a dot of the Mega Slicks Wet n Wild lip gloss in Sinless, just in the center to give us a little more of a glossy. Thank you so much for tuning in for this 2-in-1 tutorial. I've gotten a lot of great feedback on these so far, and I've got to say I really like doing them because I feel like sometimes you give out one random look and, you know, maybe people don't want to go that dramatic or they don't want to go that light and natural. So I feel like you kind of get the best of both worlds and at least a couple new ideas. Maybe you already have one of the palettes I've talked about, but you just wanted a new way to switch it up. So I'll continue to do these in the future, and let me know if you have any special palettes you would like me to use for them. Thanks for watching, guys.